Let's kick it off here on this blustery December 1st. At least it is here in Las Vegas. Wind's been blowing about 50 miles an hour since 5 o'clock yesterday. And, speaking of things that blow, I got to apologize for suggesting anyone watch the Christmas tree lighting in Rockefeller Center last night on NBC. It gets worse and worse every year. It did. It was, I'm like, because a couple of years ago, they had this, it started to get a little bit too commercial. I know that's probably hard for people to believe that if it's network television that it's all about commercialization. But I think maybe a little bit of the Christmas tradition, a little bit of the holiday spirit, a little bit of the rum-pum-pum-pum would still be around. But no, it was god-awful. No offense meant out there. Just absolutely god-awful. So my apologies if you took an hour out of your life that you'll never get back to listen to the crooning of Tony Bennett, who was horrible, Neil Diamond, horrible, Carole King, horrible, Michael Bublé, just his last name just says everything you need to know about him, Bublé. It sounds like something you eat after dinner, doesn't it? What would you like for dessert? I think I'll go with the chocolate buble. Yeah, that'd be delicious. Anyway, JD here, good to have you on board. We thank you as always for spending some of your time with us here on, I don't know what the hell kind of a program this is, but it is what it is. Jesse producing, Don producing, working the dials. Your calls at 800-876-4123. Poll question up there for you today at the website. A new poll has the Newtster with a huge margin over Mitt Romney, 38% to 17%. That's the latest Rasmussen poll. Nudie is selling himself as a professor, a historian, a futurist, a small business owner, and a lifetime citizen. How do you see him? 7% say weasel, 11% elitist, 18% slimeball, 32% Washington insider, and 32% 2012 GOP nominee. You can answer it there at the website here at 800-876-4123. Can I put anything I want on the website? Because those are not the answers that I wanted to put up. I had to self-censor in what my initial responses were.
You gave him one with the 2012 nominee, right?
No, I put that out there because there are stupid people out there that actually think this guy is something other than what he is and are actually going to vote for him or actually send him money.
There. Yeah, instead of 2012 GOP nominee, I'd have
no, because he's got a good shot at it. He really does. I know there are people that are going, yes, he does. He does. He does. I know he does. He's not the guy that he says he is or was or wasn't. Or he's changing. Or is he? I don't really care because he's not Mitt. He's not, and this guy, Newt Gingrich, is just a complete. How do you describe this guy? He's everything and he's nothing. He's like Obama. Obama's everything and he's nothing. Obama was this blank canvas that people projected themselves onto. They saw their hopes, their dreams, their visions, their aspirations. They were all embodied in this youthful, exuberant, articulate man of hope and change. And they're like, he's going to deliver us to whatever promised land it is that we want to be delivered to, because he was everything to everyone, and he's nothing. He's nothing. I mean, if you want to define him, he's a socialist. That's what he is. A redistributionist, a 60s radical. Got rid of the Brooks Brothers, put on the Brooks Brothers suit and got rid of the Birkenstocks. I mean, that's him. But Newt, now all of a sudden, Newt's the conservatives' conservative?
Oh, she turned me into a newt.
Newt is
got better.
Anything. Newt's anything to the desperate Republicans out there. Newt is anything they want him to be, and he's nothing except completely and totally in it for himself. That's it. And people have fallen for this crap. 38 to 17 in the latest Rasmussen over Romney. The professor, the historian. He could do his own Gilligan's Island. He's Marianne. He's Ginger. He's the professor. He's Gilligan. He's the skipper. He's everything. And he's even the island. He is Gilligan's Island, including the island. It's amazing to watch people start to kind of make excuses for Newt Gingrich's past behavior, the way they start to change the words. Now, immigration, let's go there for a second. If you were for amnesty, then you're against amnesty, but at the same time, you're for legality for the people that broke the law. That would be a flip-flop? What would that be? Oh, see, if you're a Democrat, it's a flip-flop. But if you're a Republican suck-up machine trying to make excuses for someone who was pro-global warming and pro-amnesty, well, then you have to say his answers are contorting. That's one I heard over the last couple of days.
Wow.
Contorting. Another one was reflecting. He's reflecting on previous positions, and he's matured.
Reflecting?
In his way of... So he's reflecting, he's maturing, he's contorting, but the one I loved most is he's evolving. Now, think about the beauty of this one, folks. Think about the beauty of this one to the right-wing, far right-wing, extremist, evangelical whack jobs who don't believe in evolution, but do believe in the evolution of Newt Gingrich. I think I should just wrap up the program today.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you very much. So we only have 2 hours and 47 minutes and 32 seconds left, but I'm done. I mean, that's it. I thought it was brilliant. Put a fork in it, carve it up, and somebody can take some leftovers home in some Tupperware. I mean, that's really, you look at how people are now starting to parse their words. And when they look at someone like Herman Cain, now you notice how people are moving away from Herman Cain slowly on Fox or slowly on some of the Republican outlets. They start to go, well, we have to take a look at how he's managing his campaign to give us a better assessment of how he'd manage the country. Now, if he can't manage the fallout from even baseless accusations of marital infidelity, which today on Fox they called a consensual affair. That sounds better, doesn't it? Than I was nailing some chick other than my wife? But it was a consensual affair. It's consensual? An affair? An affair just sounds kind of like a party, doesn't it? It's like a weekend away. I'm just going away on a little affair. Oh, okay. Can I come with you? No, not this weekend. But, I mean, this is the way they start to do it. So now it's like they built up Rick Perry to be this next president of the United States until they came to find out that he was a complete idiot. And then they went, oh, the oops moment, time to walk away. It was the oops moment that allowed them the wiggle room to bail on somebody they shouldn't have supported in the first place. Herman Cain, they started to get a little wiggle room with the Libya thing, but now it's his lack of being forceful in rejecting this smear campaign, this high-tech lynching, and if he can't come out with the right words to defend himself in these baseless accusations designed to tear this man down and destroy not only his campaign but his family, well, then what's he going to do with the Russians? So it gives them the wiggle room to get off on Herman Cain when they were on the Cain train, but now they're trying to find a way to get off, and they go, oh, here's my opportunity. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with the Newtster, because so many people are jumping on board this fathead. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch.
You can say they did the same thing with John McCain in the 2008 election when he decided to take a couple of weeks off to focus on the economy in the middle of a campaign. That's when the Republicans decided to bail on him all of a sudden. But then it was, I guess, a little too late.
Yeah. Here's the immigration stuff. Immigration has hopefuls contorted. The Republican presidential contenders are tying themselves in knots over immigration. Newt Gingrich is endorsing a South Carolina law that allows police to demand a person's immigration status a week after taking heat for advocating a humane approach. Rick Perry, though defending Texas's in-state tuition for some illegals' children, spent campaigning with hardline Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Mitt Romney talking tough on immigration in his second White House campaign, though he previously supported the idea of allowing some illegals to stay in the country. Meanwhile, voters say immigration will not determine which candidate they will back for the GOP nomination. Instead, they want people focused squarely on economy and jobs. So immigration was important. Now it's not important. But if you're going to really focus on the economy, isn't immigration a part of that? Isn't immigration a part of the problem we have of allocation of resources going to people who have no rights in this country, who are here illegally? None. You got none. If you came across the border illegally or you overstayed your visa, you broke the law. And you're not entitled to any protections under the United States Constitution because you're not a citizen. You're not a legal resident. You're an illegal alien. You get nothing. Now, that probably wouldn't get you a GOP nomination. That would be too harsh. That's more Tea Party, right? That's too way out there. Think about this as what we've done as a country. The country, metaphorically, is your home. The United States of America is your house. You bought the house. You live in the house. You maintain the house. You pay for everything that keeps that house functioning. You go away on vacation. Let's say it's Christmas and New Year's. You're gone for 2 weeks, and you come back to your home, and there are people that broke into your home, and they're living there, and they won't leave, and they want you to fill up the refrigerator, and they want you to cut the lawn, and they want you to clean the pool, and they want you to talk to them in Spanish, or at least teach them a little bit of English so they can communicate more of what they want of yours so they can be better served in this country. How long do you think that you...
That's your home! Are you too good for your home?
What the hell is that? Is that angry, Jerry? Was that growing up out of the side of my neck
Happy
there?
Gilmore.
Oh, Happy Gilmore. Oh, another crappy movie from Adam Sandler. Doesn't he have another one out now that's a must-miss? But think about the whole concept of that. And you have to keep paying. And you got to drive them to school. And you got to give them school lunches. And you have to educate them. If they get sick, you got to drive them to the hospital. Or maybe buy them health insurance. But probably not. You'll just take them to the emergency room. And then you'll stand in line if the both of you are injured in an accident because the illegal alien has an injury with a higher priority than you do, a compound fracture versus a simple laceration. So you'll gladly sit in the back of the emergency room while the illegal alien gets treated first because, well, the prioritization of medicine doesn't really know legalization of status or not, doesn't know immigration status, doesn't know nationality. That's what happens, folks. We've had people that have broken into our home, have invaded our homes, have raided the refrigerator, have stolen our money, have clogged up our education system, demanded we speak to them in a different language, and all of a sudden that's not a part of the overall economic picture that we're dealing with? We're trying to find money. We're going through the couch cushions looking for loose change. How much of a drain is 11 million illegal aliens on this country? You want to start finding places where you can save money? Cut them off. I'm not saying deport them, but guess what? They'll leave on their own.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
Because the movie's called The Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner had some questions about whether or not they'd show up, and James Earl Jones said, if you build it, they will come. We built it. They came. They're here. They conquered. It's time they get cut off. And then they go back home and maybe build their own Field of Dreams in their own country. And then maybe there'll be a day when we're invading them, and they have the same complaints about us as we do about them now. 800-876-4123. I know that was a horrible James Earl Jones. I apologize, Mr. Jones, but it was as close as I could come besides baseball.
The Jerry Doyle Show.